Hello friend, welcome back. In a previous video here, I already added all that our images. So for the images, that is actually the 2ID data, that is actually the 3ID data. And here you can see if you go to the database, I just get the 2ID for the favicon, 3ID for the font logo, and the 4ID for the admin logo. Okay, so here there is the admin logo. So in our admin logo, it should be actually 4. Okay, that means the 4ID data you will be get on from particular that position. He will be inserted that data on particular that area. Okay. So here you can see I just define that save. So now they have also another field. So they have also another field for the system name. So I also want to save that data on particular that field area. So that's the ID as a one. So now I have to do that work. So after that, okay, that is the method. Okay, so after that here I want to do, I just define, I want to take one of the variable as a says. Okay, says underscore setting. So I just define as a says underscore settings, and in particular that position I want to do the same things. Okay, like here I just define that name. Better I just do the same things. So I just defining it on here. In our system model, I want to find out now ID. So now I want to find out that ID as a one ID. So for the reasons I just define as a one on particular that position. Okay, so I just take one of the variable with this as a says setting. And now after that I want to take that value. So here with this says setting, so here just defining it, and then here I just define that value. Okay, I just define that value, and here I have to put that things with this request. So here I just define that request. Okay, I just define that request. With this request here I have to assign that name. So here our field name as the name, so I just define that name. Okay, so I did that type of work a lot of the time, and now I want to save that data. So with this says setting, so here with this says setting, now I want to save it. So here I just define that save. So I hope you can well understand about it. And after that save, I want to actually return one of the page. So here I just define the return, and then I just want to redact. Okay, I just want to redact one of the page. So I just define one of the action on here. Okay, so here I just define that action, and this action I just want to redact it to the list page, that means our update page. And if you go to that position for the update, here I just define that URL, so that means in our index method. So for now I just copy it, and in our setting here I just paste that things on here. So I think you can well understand about it. So here I just define that admin setting controller in our index method, and in our index method here I already assigned our page, that means this update page. So after inserted all the data, it should be redirected to our update page. For now actually they have only one page, that means that is actually the update page. So after insert all the data, it should be redirected to same page. Okay, so that's the things I want to do. So that is actually our method ending on here. That is our last method. Okay, now this one. So now let's check this out. If we get any error, then we'll solve it. So it's very common for the coding. So now let's check this out. I just click on the save all. Okay, I just click on the save all, and now I just refresh that page. So now here I want to add, that means in our database, that means this position I want to add the system name. Okay, so here I just define the system, my online news. I just define as a my online news, and here there is a favicon, there is a font logo, and that the admin logo. As I told you, font favicon, it means if you want to visible some of the icon, like that is actually the one of the icons. So that is also for the Google, that is on the icon. So that is actually the favicon icon. And also the font logo means that is this logo, and also that is the admin logo means actually this logo. Okay, so first of all I just want to actually insert all the data, then I will update it, and I will show you that things how we can visible that things in our that page. So right now I just want to save that data. For the reasons there is a favicon, I just select it, and in our exercise file there is a demo picture. I already created one of the folder as a demo picture. So in our demo picture here I already added 3 of these images. Okay, so that's one is for the admin logo PNG, that's one is for the home logo PNG, and that's one is for the favicon. And favicon is very much actually small size is one of the images, and we can see that is actually the dimension is the 30 to 30. So for now I just select for the favicon, and now there is a font. So here I just define for the home logo, and for the admin Here I just define this picture, so I just define it. So if you click on the update, so it should be inserted all the data, that means all the images in our others folder. Okay, so if everything okay, it should be available on particular that folder. So now let's check this out. I just click on the update. Yes, you can see now this data is perfectly saved, and after that you can see it's automatically redirected to our that page. So now let's check this out. If you go to our database and here if you now browse it, and into this position here you can see that our name is now updated. So here I just put that value as a my online news, and now if you go to our that others folder, yes, you can see all that images is perfectly added on here. Okay, so it's now perfectly added on particular that positions. Now I just remove it, like I just remove it from here. Now I want to update it again, like here I just refresh that page, and now here I just define as a my online news portal. I just define as a my online news portal, and here I just fave call you. I just use that image again. So here is defining it, and also that is our admin. So that is our home logo. I just defining it, and also for the admin logo, I just defining it. Okay, and now you can see that our folder is now empty. So now I want to update all the data. So here I just click on the update. So it's now successfully update, and here I already defined that things. After that save all the data, it should be redirected to our index method, and in our index method I already loaded our update page. Okay, so that means it should be redirected to our that same page. So now if you go to our others, now you can see all that images is perfectly loaded on particular that position. That means all the data, that means here I just defining the 4 ID data, that is our 3 ID data, that is our 2 ID, all that images data is perfectly inside, saved in our that folder, that means the others folder. So we successfully did all that work for our setting controller. That means here is now perfectly all that function is now work. Okay, so in our next video I will start a new session. It's about the front end. So I already discussed about a lot of the things about the back end, how can control, how can manage all the things. So in our next video I will start a new session. It's about all that front end management system. So how can manage your all that front end, and how can actually now post all that your news article from to the back end, and how can manage that things as a hot news. Okay, and also how can show that all news in our category page, and also how can view that things in our single page. So step by step all the things related with our front end I will show you that things with the live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.